pressure your opponent to force them to have a lot of the removal early with some of your cards. Unfortunately, a lot of your early drops, if you are playing them, probably will get wiped away by some of the removal. So, but you can force your opponent to actually have answers, and you can play the more aggressive game. I do think Rapunzel will be huge in this match because of all the because the only way that Amethyst Steel really has a way of taking out characters is through damage, and it's not always in one turn. So she definitely will be able to draw you a ton of cards, and he does mulligan 5 cards, so he knows exactly what he's looking for here. I assume it's a bunch of Rapunzels to start with. It depends on how aggressive of a game he's going to play. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, Rapunzel seems so good in this matchup. Now, granted, aside from random leftover damage from Grab Your Swords, which is still fine to draw 2 cards off that card, the Steel players haven't really been leaving damage around, so they're not going to just walk into those plays.
Yeah, it's not about walk. You just sometimes don't have an option, especially in the early game, because your guys just have so much willpower. We'll just see what happens. I mean, like the Amber can have more targeted draw power. I'm not really sure if he has like Be Our Guest. I assume he does because there are aerials in the deck and things like that. So it'll depend on like pure card advantage versus targeted. So he starts with inking a pocket watch, which could be good in this matchup, especially like versus those hands we said. So he inks. So immediately goes for a Lilo. So this is what I thought. Like the Amber player can get out to early advantage and force the Steel player to have something. Double pocket watches. Yep, and he does fire the cannons on the wheel. But at least you force it to have it.
Right. Yeah, if you don't have it there, you get to threaten very early. We know that some of these lists have you would have had the follow up with the Zimba, so even Rafiki. So things like that, he was prepared for that line of play.
Agreed.
So Pocket Watch, Beast. Obviously, Beast not nearly as good in this matchup, right? It's just maybe hitting Beast Mirror.
Amber Steel, yeah, that's the only target for it. I mean, it is a very good target, but there's only the one target that you have. So he inks his second Simba here. I assume he'll just quest with the first one. Yeah. So he plays the Tinkerbell on 3, which represents the Tinkerbell potential Giant Fairy on 4.
Right.
Which means that Elsa really can't act efficiently here. She probably still will sling friends.
Yeah. Listen, we're singing all day long. All right.
Foil friends again. Also, it's always foil.
Hey, it's a pretty cheap foil right now. I'm just saying.
It's $6.
All right, maybe it's not as cheap as I thought it was. So
he actually puts the 4-cost Jafar in his Inkwell. I wonder if he has a second one. No, he just plays Hans,
which I do love this Hans very, very much. I actually expect
it represents a lot of like advantage throughout the game. I wonder if he plays the other Tinkerbell here.
Right. He does.
He shifts the one Tinkerbell on top of the other. I assume she's.
And he just gets it, right? Like he just gets to wipe the board here.
Yep.
Gains like supremacy in board state right now. This is just. Oh no! Why? No.
I don't know that I agree with that play.
All right, I would have personally. I would have took one less lore, took out the Elsa, got rid of the Hans. But
so he is a 3-0, but he leaves Hans in play. Now Hans, he at this point can only trade with either character, so it's kind of the same thing. But at the same time, like I think I probably just take the trade myself there.
Right. I would have took one less lore for sure. We'll have to see if that ends up mattering later on.
So he hooks back to get the fire the cannons, which is he uses fire the cannons. I assume on Simba here, or is he just showing that
he might?
It's just showing. He's just showing
it back. Yeah, he might have to use it on Tink and then run the Han into the Tink. Realistically, he doesn't have to.
He can't do that because of the bodyguard.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So then, you just run it in, take your 2 lore, and then hit Tink for 1. In my opinion,
he might be able to. He can fire fire the cannons on Tink. That's not legal.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. He has bodyguard.
Can't do that. Yeah, that's not a legal play.
That's unfortunately a very illegal play, and somehow
that was not legal. There is a bodyguard character in play.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I guess both players are just gonna let it go.
Yeah, that's an incredibly unfortunate miss there by the players. So we get a Lilo.
I don't think she's long for this world.
Definitely not long for this world. I don't think I would have. I wouldn't have played Lilo until like after another Tinkerbell or something like that had come out.
I mean, she can't be inked, so I guess you're just like whatever. But
yeah.
So Simba Quest here goes to 4 lore. I assume gets cleaned up by Captain Hook here.
Yep.
Another giant fairy would be huge here.
Right.
So Hook sings friends. Sure, why not?
Hey, listen, he's only got one lore. I'll take 2 cards again.
Yeah. So I guess he's probably looking for another giant tank here, because
Yeah,
that'll
why
just
not?
create a massive source of card advantage and huge threat on the board. I assume that's what's happening here.
Yeah, I think we have it.
Yep.
Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
So
yeah, the Lilo isn't Simba only? Oh, where did Simba get extra damage from?
he might have had 2 on him. I'm not certain.
Yeah. So he plays Ariel here.
The dice that he were using is very tiny to track.
Yeah, I thought it was only 1.
So we Ariel, we get to find grab your sword, so that's cool.
Yeah, but he can't play it immediately. So I wonder if, I mean, obviously, like, you take it, but I wonder if
there was an inkable card you were thinking.
Maybe. So he plays Fire the Cannons on Hook, which means the grab your swords will represent lethal on Hook, but not on Tink.
Right.
So I wonder if he doesn't have, like, I guess he doesn't have a smash in hand.
I'm not sure.
I
mean, he's very clearly behind now, and he can't even make an attack next turn to like heal Ariel to get cards off Rapunzel and things like that. So
I wonder if the steel. Well, I wonder if the character with 2 steel characters in play. I wonder if he has smash in hand and is trying to decide whether he wants to use it on Ariel, because I would smash Ariel here. That probably didn't come across really well on stream.
I guess a whole new world would be a card that I'm worried about. So that would be a reason that I would consider doing it, because your opponent is almost out of steam, and that's the type of card that would just very much help him get back into the game.
So he draws 1 with Maleficent. I assume still looking for a smash here. I mean, you can honestly, you could play anything here. It's not a bad thing. He's just quests here for.
There's no reason not to.
Yep.
So we get on the board for quests. So that's 4 or 3, right? 3. Yeah. Hook is 1.
Oh, I see so okay, that's interesting. So yeah, I guess those things shouldn't say 1; they should say 0, huh?
Right. I think so. I actually, because I can't remember. Did he actually get an ink earlier or a lore earlier? And
No.
It? Okay.
So he plays Mickey. I assume he has a broom in hand considering how many cards he's drawn. But so he plays his 5th one down, which means he can technically double grab your swords here if he has it. I wonder if he does. So yeah, he
gets 1.
He pays for 1, and he does. He does have the double grab.
So that does make the Fire the Cannons worse, right?
So
because if he had Fire the Cannons on the Tinkerbell, she would also be dead.
Yeah, he should have fired the cannons on the Tinkerbell.
Right. So he left the Tinkerbell for later on.
Yeah. I wonder if that's gonna. I mean, I think you just swing the Tinkerbell into the Ariel here. Yeah, I agree with that play. So it's 1 card to. I assume he has. Oh, okay.
It's 1 card to a queen.
Yeah, I guess at this point it doesn't really matter how many cards he has, because it's going to be in the long run more than.
Yeah, I'll be curious if the last card here is a whole new world. That would be really good. Oh, so we get to put the foil friends specifically right back into the deck. We got to make sure we find the foil friends. But yeah,
not go back on top of the deck. That would be insane. So it gets shuffled back in. Yeah,
I mean the lore counts here only 4 to 3. There's a lot of game left to be played, but I do think our Amethyst deal has at least 4 cards in hand. Maybe is it not?
It could be. It doesn't really matter on it. Like there could be 2 cards in hand. He has such an advantage now having a card draw engine versus no card draw engine. So
you get another Lilo, which is not ideal.
I mean, I guess like you're just trying to play something
card on the other side. It's like, yep, this is useless apparently.
So Queen will draw him cards. Hook will get back.
Oh, that's pretty good. We'll just hook back our.
I wouldn't even bother taking out the Lilo, to be honest with you.
I think it's fine. Like, he just played Hook. You can't quest the Hook.
The Hook cannot quest. Yeah, but apparently that's going to be let go also. So it's 5 to 4. Hook apparently has haste for questing.
Yeah, it should be 4 up right now.
Rush for questing.
Yeah, that's a couple misses there. So we have a Stitch into another
Tinkerbell.
That
but
just doesn't.
But no one has enough damage on them to matter.
Yeah, she's not.
She doesn't have rush because she wasn't shifted in. So
Right.
I mean, now the decision is what you actually do with your characters to leave them vulnerable to tank. I don't think she's going to survive this turn, in fairness, but we'll see what happens. This is why I would not have fired the cannons Lilo, by the way, but we'll see what happens. He might have another way of taking her out, but he's just going to start. Yeah, okay. So
he's just going to Elsa, like whatever, and then like I'll just quest for you.
That's fair. So he gains what?
2
there. Yep,
yeah,
goes
to 7.
He plays he draws another Tinkerbell off the top, which does take out the broom. So you do one source of lore taken out. I mean,
so the one Tink should be tapped. Yeah.
So now, with no damage, I assume he has some type of damage. I see a Hans in hand. I don't know what the other card is, so I wonder if he doesn't have a way of making a favorite. Well, Elsa and one of the, I guess the Hook would take out the Tinkerbell. Because you definitely don't want to allow your opponent to be swinging the Tinkerbell. You want to definitely be taking her out during your turn.
Right.
But the other one is going to represent taking out 2 of your characters at once. I wonder if he has a way of efficiently dealing with the unexerted Tinkerbell. Or ready Tinkerbell, I guess we say.
Right.
Is it unexerted or ready? I guess it's ready.
It's ready. The character's ready. Well, your board ready, I should say.
Yeah.
It is.
So I don't think he has the answer here. He has to use the Hook for sure. I don't know that he has to use the Elsa. One of the Tinks will definitely trade into the Queen. I assume the undamaged one. I don't know that you definitely need to use the Hook so that you get any advantage out of the Tinkerbell. Just doesn't take it out for no reason. But I guess he kind of represents saving 2 damage to Elsa regardless.
Right.
So I wonder whether or not.
The end all be all is just trying to get out of the, like you're so far ahead in card advantage that you need to just like get through the turn as clean as possible.
So he's gonna sing Friends with Hook, which I guess is fine. I mean,
it's okay if
he's just trying to find another Elsa. He's just trying to find another Elsa.
Either Elsa, Grab Your Swords is also fine. Obviously another Elsa is the most ideal if we can pull that off.
I think that's what he's trying to do is have enough ink to have another Elsa. All I can still see in his hand is the one Hans. I don't know what else he has.
Yeah.
Looks like 2 Hans. Actually, I can't. It looks that way to me. It's hard for me to tell.
I'm not sure what the other card is.
I mean, his opponent has no cards in hand, so like I think 2 Tinks is 4 damage to something because those Tinks will take out the 2 characters that are in play and live to tell the tale. So, like, even if he does play both Hans, only one of them can technically be taken out. And again, like, you can really do whatever you want. That's what he's doing. He's just going to play both Hans. Yep. Oh, he actually inked 1 Hans. He's going to play another Queen? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So, he quests with Elsa up to 10. Yeah. So, he's letting the Tinkerbells, like, now a Tinkerbell activation on 1 Queen takes out, and then the other one takes out Elsa.
Well, that's not a very helpful draw.
Stitch not helping at this stage of the game. I mean, Grab Your Swords would have been another really good top deck here. It's the Tinkerbell is already 1 good top deck, so he uses it to take out the Hook, which I don't know that you needed to, and he puts the damage on the Queen.
Right. So now, because now he can take the Queen and send the damage somewhere else. So now he can also.
That's what I would have done. Okay, so he challenges the Queen, does damage to the Hook. That's what I would have done.
Right.
So now he needs to decide whether or not. Well, now the problem, like he should have quested into both. He should have challenged into both. Challenge into 1, put the damage on Elsa. Challenge into Elsa, put the damage on Hook. So all 3 of them are taken out.
Elsa has 6 health, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then that would have worked.
Yeah, so you challenge into Queen, put 2 damage on Elsa. Challenge into Hook. Challenge into Elsa, put 2 damage on Hook.
Yeah.
So then, and then he just quests with Tink. I mean,
he has no favorable trade at that point, so
he could have taken out all 3 characters that were relevant. Right. Now,
I think he missed that line.
So I don't know how much damage Tink has on her. So she swung into the Queen,
4.
so she has 4 on her.
Just
So now
4
Han's questing takes her out.
Yeah, that feels. Yeah, that's rough.
I assume that's what he did, right? He gained
Yep.
2 lore. Yeah, so
Yep.
it goes to 12. So it's 12-6. Yeah, 12. It looked like it was on 12 to me, but yeah, definitely 12-6.
Yeah, it's 12-6.
It's really interesting that the Tinkerbell 5 willpower is such a problem for Steel. I mean, you can see that he's not able to just take it out one at a time. So he does swing Elsa into Tinkerbell and then obviously has a fire the cannon to take her out. I mean, this is already, if I'm the Amber player, I'm conceding right here.
I mean, we're almost at the 18-minute mark in this game.
Yeah.
I would have absolutely conceded at this point. Like, there's just
certainly would concede
the likeliness of you turning this around is just not worth it. Where the time might just be more valuable.
Yeah,
I mean, even right now, you're just like, okay, just go, but you just get 4 more lore, draw another card.
at least 4. He can get 5 and just.
What I'm saying, but he doesn't have to.
4 represents lethal next.
Right, he's already representing it.
Mitigated lethal, because he's at 16 right now.
Right.
Yeah, and so I mean, it's already
his opponent was still playing things, and he was like, "I'll just draw my card, play my Rapunzel, and then concede." So we're that was a rough one. There was a couple things there that were missed that were drastic.
Yeah.
Obviously, the bodyguard play early on is literally not an entirely different game, but it's a big deal because the Hans is less. There was definitely a couple missed opportunities for the Amber Steel there to just make better trades that definitely left him in a vulnerable position. And at the end of the day, the Amethyst Steel here just did not hold back and was able to really just honestly dominate that game, really.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason he was even in the game in the end game is because of the drawing the Tinkerbell off the top when he had no cards. Honestly, once that first queen came down, the game was kind of over. It was just too hard for him to come back. Amber has too many dead draws in the late game, especially if you're going to play one cause Lilos and stuff like that. It just has too many dead draws. Whereas the Amethyst player just has too much card advantage in the late game if you get to that point. I mean, once you're able to play running Elsas, it's kind of rough.
Yeah, it was just a snowball of things that kind of went wrong there.
But I agree, the bodyguard play early probably.
The bodyguard play was huge, no matter which way I look at it, because it's several points of lore. It's a character even being there that shouldn't have been. It's a lot of things that were that snowballed from that point. And I do worry that there's a potential that there was some tilting going on, and maybe he just got upset and he kind of got frustrated with what was going on, and that caused him some other mishaps in play. So we'll have to see. Hopefully he can recover and have a better game too.
Yeah. I mean, I assume the Amber player is going to go first here. I don't remember if he went first last game.
He did not.
Okay. I mean, as the more aggressive deck, he'll certainly choose to go first here. I mean, the Lilo represents at least getting a decent amount of, I guess not. You could technically have fire your cannons, which is what happened last turn. So now, I mean, honestly, the Steel player, the Amethyst Steel player has a harder mulligan because they have to decide whether or not they're going to mulligan for things like fire your cannons to deal with early Lilos that potentially could be there. Whereas, if your opponent isn't playing those cards, you can pretty much just move on with life.
Right.
I don't think the Amber player's mulligan. Yeah, the Amber player, did neither player mulligan?
I think we might have missed. I think it happened already.
Okay, I just missed it. Sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is exactly.
But you have to have it, right? You have to have it.
And he has Simba to follow up here too as well.
It also, because it very much looks to me like I have not seen a single Rafiki. I haven't seen a single Zeus. So when you're not playing those cards, you're very much relying on fire the cannons there. And if he just doesn't have it, all of a sudden your Lilo might just go for 6 lore.
Right. So by playing Stitch here, I think you're pretty much just you're telegraphing that you have Rockstar in hand because you didn't play a Simba or something like that, and you inked another hook. So
right.
I mean, he did have 2 fire the cannons, which means we're not getting an early Rockstar anytime soon.
Right.
He plays the Tink, shows that he had rode this inked the smash.
That looks like a foil Captain Hook on screen there.
It's all foils on the fire the cannon side.
Oh, they're foil cannons too. Okay,
yeah, you can tell by the way the yellow is.
All right.
Off the white here.
I can dig it.
It is not a D23 foil hook, but
yeah, no. Well, hey, You never know.
So he inks the Jafar. Is he going to decide not to ink the Jafar?
I think we've.
He inks the Jafar.
Oh, he's just showing him what it was.
He's showing that it's inkable.
Yeah.
Or that it exists or something. So I don't know that the 4 cost like shifting into Tink represents a threat here. So like, I mean, yes, I mean you can't swing with the hook into nothing, but I don't know that the shifting into Tink would represent it. See, I don't like this play. It's just an opportunity to get too much card of it, like to lose too much card advantage. So he's able to quest right away for 2, but I don't know that really does anything, especially considering you left the hook alive and now that hook represents 3 damage. That Tink is not surviving this turn.
I'm just not sure what else he could have done that turn. Right?
So like just draw and discard. Like I don't know that you need to plus Tink here.
Yeah, the Tink like you lose a lot of opportunity cost for playing Tink there, and I think that's like the biggest overall loss there.
I mean, the hook. If I'm the hook, I'm going into that Tink whether she's being taken out or not.
Right.
I don't know. And I'm sure. Yeah, that's exactly what I would do. Like, it's just too much. Like, the ability for him to, if he ever survives the swing, it's just too good.
Right.
So now at this point, I mean, Hans, if he had, well, he can't get Tink off right away. I mean, she probably will. Like, does he just? Oh,
that's pretty good. Go. That's real good.
That's our play with Rapunzel, we said. But
that's why you don't run the hook in.
Yep, that's fair. That's fair.
So we just get to quest it up again and move on. Interesting that
he fires the cannons on Hans. What did the quest with Tink go to 4? So it's 4-0.
Right.
What did he fire the cannons on turn 2?
Stitch.
Yeah, that was
Lilo and then Stitch.
How appropriate.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he had saved that cannons on Stitch, any one of these characters would have taken out that Tink. So I wonder whether or not he just doesn't have a smash or anything like that in hand.
Yeah, it looks like all I can see currently is Queen hanging out.
Yeah, I mean, you play the Queen here, and I think you just don't swing. You just don't swing with the Hans.
Yeah, it seems just not lucrative enough whatsoever, which is the problem.
I think he's just trying to decide what he wants to ink here because he probably
honestly, even gaining the 2 Lord doesn't seem worth it. Putting the 1 damage on a card doesn't seem worth it.
No, I mean, I think he has Smash in hand though. I think that card at the front is now Smash, but I can't tell. If it is, that's a different story. But
he can
get rid of it, flash it by, but I can't tell right now.
Warranted turn to think. This is a
so he hasn't inked yet. We know that.
There's a grab your swords. So he has a grab your swords.
Okay, so that's what he's deciding to do. Yeah,
so he
puts the Minky in ink. I agree. So he plays the Queen. So I'd be worried here that the Hans isn't going to get any value. I think he only has. I think the Amber player only has 4 ink in play. It's hard for me to tell. Maybe he has 5. I can't.
He has 5 now.
His hand's off to the side. His hand's like over by the discard pile.
Yeah, he's been keeping his hand near this banish pile.
Okay. So like I'd be worried here that the Hans isn't going to get any value because he's just going to play another Tink here, which he.
Yeah. That's what I was worried about.
Yeah, that's exactly what I figured was going to. So the Hans gets no value. I don't know that it matters necessarily, but
I guess the problem is like if it's like a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like the most he could have got there would have been all right. I can get my 2 lore and I can get my 3 damage on something. But if he just Rapunzels again, then I'm just going to feel so far behind. But obviously he just has the Tink, so it's also just so far behind.
So he quests up to 8. This whole game has been dominated by this Rapunzel. This whole game swings on that Rapunzel play, which is what I was worried about for the Steel player, like just leaving damage on characters and being able to draw cards from it. That's his only way of winning.
Just having 3 5 health characters in play, it's so like even a double grab your swords turn right now isn't good enough.
So he swings in a Rapunzel, which she only has 1 power, so that's fine. So he grabs your swords, So he really can't. He can't. He doesn't sing grab your swords. Obviously, he uses the Queen, which is fine because he can't have threats in play to let Tink them out, and Tink has to basically. I mean, now if Tink swings into one of into the Queen, assuming he doesn't have another Rapunzel, it does take one of them out. Looks like he doesn't have it. He might have it here. So he plays Be Our Guest, I assume, to try to find a Rapunzel. Doesn't look like he found it. Finds another Tinkerbell.
Just another Tink. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you can't play it now, so it's more of an issue. Like the Queen will trade with a Tink now at this point. I don't think you swing into the Queen. I think you just allow your opponent to do it. But we'll see.
No, I think you just quest, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like again, like another grab your sword isn't good enough.
Yeah, so he quests to 11 or 12.
12.
Yeah, another grab your sword doesn't wipe the board. 2 of them does, but that'd be insane. I mean, the Amethyst player has not played Friends.
He just does nothing there. Wow. Okay. I wonder what his hand is then. He still had 4. He still had 4 ink left.
Yeah.
We are on a short clock here, so we have, he has to be able to find a way to answer these cards. Otherwise we're just going to end up going to a game 3.
I mean, I wonder what he could possibly be trying to.
So we have
he needs to draw here. Like if he gets his own Tink that doesn't take anything out, like the Queen has to take out a Tink here. Like I can't see how that's not going to happen. He chooses to draw a card. I don't know what he's looking for. I guess because the Tinks only have 1 damage on them, right?
Right.
So he rose the Beast.
He goes to 6 resources.
Yeah. Plays his own hook to get back Cannons. Cannons a Tink, but she's
only a 4, right? Yeah.
Or 3, I think.
Well, I'm saying he still has. He grabbed your swords last turn, so he would be at 4 now.
4 damage. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess. I don't think he has Rapunzel because he would have played it last turn.
Right.
So, like, I understand him not like. So he's gonna play Rockstar. Oh, take them out. He got off the Be Our Guest.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we know he got it off Be Our Guest. Like
so we just lore, right? Like we just send it in.
I would have. Yeah, yeah. So we're going to 16.
We go to 16, and we're just like, all right, like balls in your court.
I mean, yeah, you could take out 2 of them guaranteed. We know that.
Right.
It's a matter of so.
Because we still can't get to Elsa.
No,
he's at 6. I believe he's on 6. Yeah, he's on 6 ink. So he has to be able to ink this turn and ink next turn to even be able to have Elsa. Right.
He trades 2 for 2, which he has no choice there.
Yeah. So he does ink. So
then he plays
a mirror. But he only has 1 card, I think, maybe 2.
So now he goes to 18 and just represents lethal.
It did look like that was an Elsa.
If he plays a 2-or character, it's certainly lethal. So what can Ariel get here? I guess Be Our Guest, grab your sword. I mean, she can really get anything. She gets Be Our Guest is what I would get, yeah. So if he actually gets a 1-cost Lilo here, that she represents lethal also. I don't know that does anything.
I mean, it's fine, in my opinion. It's just less damage for grab your swords, etc. Like things like that, smash. Like it's just less outs by making that play. So I would have considered. Right, I would have searched first. So if I could have played Leo, I would be in better position. But yes. This play is basically Elsa or bust.
Yes,
and it was bust. We're gonna go to game 3. We have about 20 minutes left on the clock. At the end of the day, I think the Rapunzel in that game was just
total
back-breaking.
Total. I mean, that's what we said in the pregame. Like, if the steel player leaves, well, they're both steel players, but if the amber player has characters out there with damage on them, you can easily just draw enough cards to get yourself out of the situation.
Yeah, it was interesting. Now, obviously, each player won on the play so far. I don't think it was as important in game 1, but in game 2, it did look like, given another turn, Elsa could have attempted to get back in the game, but he just seemed to be pretty behind for most of that game.
Yeah.
So, obviously, in this particular matchup, you probably want, like, you're okay with now, like, I'm back on the play. I'm going to feel comfortable with that as the control, the more control version.
I mean, I guess so. I mean, you're just going to get out your resources faster.
Right. We've also had, in both games, Lilo on 1 and get fire the cannons. So there hasn't been any dominance there, which is nice. you like you have to be mulliganing for that card, right?
For Lilo or for the Fire of the Cannons?
For the Fire of the Cannons.
Yeah, I mean, I would be anyway, just because not only does it take out the 1-drop, but it's one of your only ways of dealing with characters before they can actually act.
Right.
Or at least dealing with characters in the same turn as something else.
Right.
So, as the Amber player, I'm still trying to find Lilo because, I mean, now if the player that's going first, even if they fire the cannons, they're down too many cards at that point.
Right.
So they're playing cards like Elsa and Ursula, like they may not gain enough ink in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, in that game, he was just able to pressure so quickly that he was literally on a draw of needing an inkable and having to have Elsa to even just make the game last maybe just one more turn, in all honesty.
So I think the Amber player mulliganed 6 and the Amethyst player mulliganed 4. I didn't see the actual cards themselves. I see a
card
an
Ursa on the side there
being mulligan. That's all I saw.
Yeah, does look that way. So what has to be established earlier now for the for Amethyst Steel to get back on track here?
Just get your threat. Just like have Maleficent Sorceress and things like that. Just have like threats that also create card advantage.
Right. So we ink a Mickey, get it off the board, and we have a Hey. That's not a Lilo. Do you think do you still fire the cannons at Hey?
No.
Okay.
I let Hey rule the day for all I care.
All right. I'm just making sure.
It can't take anything out one-on-one, and it has to have another character in play to even really gain any kind of advantage.
Right.
So
obviously, like if let's just say we're playing a broom this turn, the broom will trade into it, but anything that he plays this turn, it's not,
exactly.
It's not the exact same extent.
I assume he had no other 1-drop. I mean, obviously.
Oh yeah, I don't think it's the best. It's definitely not the ideal 1-cost character to play. That's for sure. So give her smash for
rough ink here
for Zimba.
Just in general.
Oh, okay. We just have hook.
I mean, fire the cannons on the broom, which is fine. I mean,
all right.
Hey's gonna live a turn.
Hey's gonna get there, man.
I don't know. He's gonna
live a couple turns. All right, so we get rid of the broom again. So now his Inkwell has Mickeys and brooms.
Right, the whole combo. So yeah, Maleficent, I assume, was coming out here. It just depends on whether or not you're gonna. I mean, this just stops him from questing with a 3-drop, which is just rough.
Well, I think you still have to quest, right? Because if he challenges, then you're fine with that anyway, because that means he's not playing friends on the other side.
I don't know. The characters have more use. I mean, yeah. I guess if your opponent has Grab Your Swords, it doesn't matter anyway. So
right
in the deck, so I guess you just do. But I hate allowing 2 for 1. So he gets part of your world, or I'm sorry, a whole new world. Sorry, there's so many worlds.
There's a lot of worlds.
So I actually think that's important here because he knows the Amethyst player is going to have 7 cards in hand most of the time anyway, whereas he's not. So he does quest a 3-0 here, and now that he has a whole new world, it's almost worse to even sing friends here. So he should be starting to challenge, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. He has to be able to do answers here. So for me, I think I like taking the free lore, because if my opponent isn't exerting that Maleficent to draw cards, I'm okay with it, because it has to force more turns later on. And you're also a steel deck, so you can also just sing Grab Your Swords this turn.
That's
and
true.
Then take away the play anyway.
But he's probably gonna. I wonder if he's gonna sing a whole new world here.
Well, he's not gonna play that Lilo now. I tell you that much.
No. So if he has Grab Your Swords, I wonder if he sings that this turn.
Yeah, he does.
Yep, that's the singer ability off Ariel. That's the power there.
It's a pretty good card. That seems
I don't like playing the Lilo there.
No, I hate playing the Lilo. It just dies to Hans.
So he quests to 4. I mean, I guess it saves Hans from taking out Ariel.
That sounds great to me.
I guess.
That seems great. I would
So
be totally content.
He puts the
with
queen in
having-
Inkwell, and he
That's worse.
backbreakingly plays his own grab.
Yeah, that's real bad. I mean, that's
because then he quests for 2 and takes out Ariel for free, essentially.
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty rough. That was a good turn.
I mean, again, the Lilo can't be inked, so I mean,
right.
I wouldn't just throw her away there, but at the same time, she can't do much. I wonder if he has not a lot of. Does he not have a lot of inkables?
He has a Tink in his hand. He has a Grab Your Sword. He has a Whole New World.
Okay, so only one ink. He has the big Tink.
He's the big Tink, right?
Well, he's obviously not willing to ink her, which I don't blame.
Well, yeah, it's not ideal. It's not ideal when you have to ink one of the best cards in the game just to get to 4 resources.
Yes. I wonder. Yeah, I think the uninkables here are gonna do him in.
Right. So we could see like this is a warranted play. Like if we quest with Hans, get 2 lore, and then do a damage to Tink and then smash the Tink. Like I'm pretty content with that line of play. In all honesty, at this state of the game.
Does he have a smash?
I'm not certain, but I'm saying in this world. Okay. All right. He
sings Friends.
I'm never against singing Friends either, so I could totally respect those lines. But like my opponent hasn't inked a card in 2 turns. So like when your opponent hasn't inked a card in 2 turns, so taking a character off the board is really good.
He plays his own foil Tink, I might add.
Yeah, he's got a whole bunch of foils. What astounds me is that the Maleficent is not foil. All right, that's what astounds me.
So this is he plays this. I wonder if he should he sing A Whole New World here or
yep, absolutely. He has to.
Yeah, that's why I don't know that I would have sang Friends there, because that this is the only way that his opponent has a way of getting back in the game. Now, I don't think.
Yeah, I guess it's worse because like he knows that he knew he had the Whole New World also.
Yeah, I don't know. Both players having 7 here is clearly an advantage for the Amethyst player. Let's be honest.
Right now, it is for sure. I mean, he just has the resources. Already has
Tink to play the better end game.
Right. He definitely has a way better end game. If anything, you just fueled the end game.
So he fires the cannons, gets back, fires the cannons again. Yeah, just
see you later, Tinks.
Yeah, she already had 1 damage on her, so that's 5.
Yep.
And then I assume Tink just quests.
Yeah, just get in there. And let me, unless we're trying to sing some more, but I'd be okay with the 2 lore. Did he not ink this turn? I guess if he didn't ink this turn,
I think he did, but maybe not. I might be wrong.
I mean, he has 7 cards in hand. I think he's just deciding.
No, he didn't ink this turn.
Yeah, so
it's fine.
No,
again,
so the hook, there we go. All right, hook it. We got it that time.
So he goes to 4. So it's 4 all on lore.
Right. That was the first time in several turns where the lore totals had changed.
Yes. So he goes to 5 ink. I don't even know what he probably. I mean, he had 7 cards in it. He had 8 cards to start the turn. So let's see what Ariel can find here.
Again, we don't have his full deck list, so we can't know the number.
She found nothing.
But he does fail to find. So one of the most upsetting parts of any card game: fail to find.
So he just plays out a bunch of threats. I mean, that's what he was going to draw off the 7 cards. So it's just going to come down to whether or not. I mean, you gave the Amethyst Steel player ample opportunities here to get a Grab Your Swords, which I imagine is coming down.
Yeah, I think I would have held back the Lilo personally, just because the Rockstar Stitch to shift in, be able to play Lilo that way. At least you're getting value out of like drawing cards back.
True.
But like just dumping those 2 cards into any even Tinkerbell could threaten. Really
Elsa's a 2 for Elsa helps here too, because
Elsa would be
need
to be like absolutely backbreaking, but this is also just good enough.
Right. I don't even know if I would bother that, but sure.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I guess it's okay because you don't want to just have him freely be able to sing A Whole New World or something like that.
I mean, he quests down, so it's 7-4 now. Goes to
7-4 now, yeah.
So we
just beat our guest.
I mean, he put Hey in Inkwell, which he wasn't going to play the Hey anyway, so that's probably
No.
It gets the Rapunzel. It's probably too late at this point, honestly. I don't know what else. I mean, obviously, I don't know what other options he has, but
I mean, I'm sure it's probably still the best card for what it's worth.
if it's not a big Tink, it's the best card.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Big Tink, he couldn't even play that. At least he can play the Rapunzel. Not that I want to be playing the Rapunzel. I'm probably playing Little Tink here, just to try and get some value out of it with my Rapunzel. Yeah. So he has 1 ink left over. I think he does have a Fire the Cannons here.
So Fire the Cannons plus, well, I guess he's just not going to use it. It's fine. So Fire the Cannons on hook, like plus Tink next turn. Yeah, it's just.
Ouch. That Tink's not going to be there next turn.
No, that Tink's not. The Tink might not even be there this turn. Well, she's not going to. I wouldn't swing with her into her now. You have a whole turn to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah, you can get the.
Elsa cannot swing. Gains 3 lore to 11.
Yep. Definitely a commanding point in this game. I don't know that the Amber Steel is going to be able to recover from this one.
Just doesn't have enough of an end game.
It's not that he doesn't have the end game. He just couldn't make the effective trades to position himself well in the end game. Whereas, honestly, the whole new world was just straight gas for the guy that already had 7 resources.
Yeah.
And when we're like paying 2 every turn just to like play another 3-cost character, like you're just kind of falling further and further behind the matchup.
Definitely.
I mean, like next turn we can almost take the turn off. I mean, so we get that, which is nice. So the Tink's not going to stay around. But even just like Tink into the baby Tink, deal 2 damage, Captain Hook, finish her off. You still have Captain Hook and Elsa in play and 9 resources to spend on the turn. Like you're just so far ahead in the game. Oh, we have other Tinks too, so I guess that's cool.
I don't know that you need to use.
I mean, this way is it. You just have 3 characters. I guess it's fine. Like honestly, when you just get to play more big stuff. So what do we went to 13 there, I think.
Yeah.
And then we just play another Tink.
And we draw 2 from friends. I mean, I don't think it matters, but I don't
think it matters. I probably would have friends first.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I don't know that it matters.
Just because you could put I would rather play Ursula there than Tink probably. So
yeah, you're giving your opponent the ability to draw cards at this point. You know he had Rapunzel. Like again, I don't think it's gonna matter, but
it doesn't matter. It's not enough to come back.
So you swing into hook. Tink takes. Well, that was just incorrect then. Okay.
Because
he decided to swing into the Tink instead because he kind of
Oh.
Because he played Rapunzel first to only get rid of 1 damage. I mean, if you're going to swing into the hook, you're going to get rid of all 3 damage anyway.
No, he already had 1 damage on it, so he could have.
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah,
he technically could have. He was trying to draw more cards, but realized that he couldn't leave Tink up, or he would have lost the game.
So he just plays Elsa. I mean, not that it really mattered.
The game is over. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of as expected there. I would say the whole new world was just sadly very poorly timed, and the worst of it